Alrighty, so you guys already see where I am and you know where this video is going to be leading, but in today's video guys, I'll be covering this brand new boat in a lot more detail and actually covering every bit of statistics and uses of this whole entire vehicle and showing you guys how overpowered it truly is. But at the same time, I do think it has some balances and counters to it, and I'll be covering them later in this video as well. So anyway, let's just jump into it. The first category I would like to actually talk about is going to be the health. And since we know the explosive sniper does 100 damage, so let's go ahead and shoot this bolt, let's say once, and let's go ahead and go into the captain's quarters, and let's go ahead and take a look at how much health is going to be left at after exactly one shot from the explosive sniper. And it seemed like it basically took no damage internally, which is actually nice to know. Let's go ahead and shoot it one more time internally, and let's take a look on how much damage it's going to be taking. Alright, so from what it looks like, it's going to be taking 2% each from every single explosive sniper shot, which obviously does 100 damage. And this will obviously mean that this ship will be having over 5,000 health. The reason why is because if each shot will be doing 2% and each shot obviously is going to be doing 100 damage, it's obviously going to be around 5,000. So that's the first statistic I would like to talk about. And by the way, this is almost double the amount of the highest health that any other vehicle had in the whole entire game. But now let me cover some more statistics which might be actually interesting to go through. And by the way guys, I will be kind of doing this video in a form that will just be going through these media videos instead of actually editing over it, because I really have been going through a lot of editing today and I would like to make this video in a little bit faster time so I can actually go to sleep. Anyway, here we go, here we have it for ourselves. The first thing which I'm going to be testing is going to be the air lock-on missiles, and let's go ahead and actually take a look at it. I'm going to be firing it against the Mi-28 Havoc, so this is going to be missile number 1, and then missile number 2. Each missile will be doing 400 damage, by the way, which is absolutely huge, and the second missile will pretty much just be able to destroy the Mi-28. And the reason why this was balanced this way is because on the other side, the helicopters are actually able to be balanced because they will be able to counter this with flares. On the other side, the tanks are actually not going to be able to counter it because they do not have themselves an APS system, unlike the only vehicle in the game that does is going to be the T-90. So that's why it's balanced this way, just for the people who are wondering why it's so insanely OP. Let's cover the next statistic. So the next thing over here we are going to be doing is we're going to be shooting a main cannon at the F-35 just to showcase to you guys on how OP it's going to be doing. So for what it looks like, it's actually very easy to actually miss the cannons once you guys are pointing upwards, and that's because of the whole entire mechanic that it does have behind it. But overall, around 2 shots from this will be able to also destroy the likes of the F-35, which is once again another set of bonus information. Alrighty, so the next thing we're going to be going through over here is going to be seeing how good the AI turrets actually are. They are basically working as support and there's nothing more special about it, but if we do go ahead and look into this clip, it's going to be around 25 seconds long. As you guys can see, the AI turrets seem to actually not be doing this much damage. However, they will be primarily targeting the person who is sitting inside of there rather than targeting the vehicle itself, which is actually really good, by the way, because you guys might be able to actually defeat the person who is actually piloting the plane instead of defeating the vehicle itself, which is also great. Anyway, as you guys can see, it's going to be taking around 2 sessions of the AI turrets to actually be able to destroy the F-35. So once again, this is going to be working as a finisher, but also some bonus DPS. Alrighty, so another thing which we're testing over here is to see how powerful the cannons are going to be against the Abrams X. I'm basically going to be shooting the cannon over here, and let's see how long it's going to be able to take to kill it. So the first set of shots did 250 damage each, so we're going for a second round, the third round, and as you guys can see, 3 rounds of the cannon will be able to destroy the Abrams X. However, once again, I believe this to be quite balanced for the reason that the Abrams X can very easily use Hillstead's advantage to slowly mow down this vehicle. So that's also a thing we have to take into consideration. And overall, the cannons are both 155mm, so it does make sense why they're also so OP. Let's cover the next thing. Alrighty, so next we're also going to be testing is to see, will 10 of these rockets, which are only ground lock-ons, will they be able to destroy the like of the Abrams X, which is right here. And by the way, it won't be able to, but my friend has said that it has been left at around 10% after all of it. So the ground lock-on missiles, once again, as I said, they are going to be 2 times, if not 3 times weaker than the air lock-on missiles. Once again, they are actually uncounterable. That's the reason why. Anyway, let's move into the next metric. Alright, so next what we're testing over here is to see how powerful the AI turrets actually are. As you guys can see, from time to time, my friend is actually taking damage, and the reason why is because once again, the AI turrets are primarily actually targeting the driver. However, I believe around 2 sessions of these will be able to actually destroy the Leopard at least, but it's going to take quite long. But once again, this is support DPS, so this is also a showcase on how good it's actually going to be against tanks. It's pretty bad against planes, it's also pretty bad against tanks, but it does make sense. It's only support and it doesn't take any skill. Alrighty, so the next category which we're also testing over here is to see how far the AI turrets will also be able to lock on for. So where my friend and me were actually conducting this test, as you guys can see, the range I'm actually away from him is going to be around 800, now it's going to be 900, it's going to go up to 1k, and it's going to be continuing at 1.1k, that's going to go to 1.2k, and they are still shooting even though I'm not locked onto him. I think the overall lock-on range is going to be around 1.3k to around I believe that's going to be 1.5k, so it's going to be around the 1000 numbers. And in terms of the AI turrets as well, which is also pretty good. Again, this is just a support unit, and I do find this kind of OP that it does have such high range. Anyway, let's move into the next thing. Alrighty, so the next thing which we are going to be actually doing over here is going to be seeing how powerful this drone actually is. So let me explain you guys how this drone's AI also works. So I believe it's going to be having a rough lock-on range of around 400 stats or up to 500 stats or something, because it's basically going to be going in a circle. But as you guys can see, when it's going on the circle behind me, it does not have as much range to actually lock onto him if he's going to be getting further away. So let's go ahead and actually continue to show you this to you guys. Let's take a look if it's still going to be able to shoot a rocket, and as you guys can see, it didn't shoot a rocket when my friend kind of got out of the 500 stats range. So it's looking like the range is going to be around 400 to 500, and the missiles are not going to be as powerful. However, they can also be countered by smoke, which is a bonus set of information for you guys. So make sure to be using your smoke if you do see this thing. Alrighty, so the next thing which we are going to be testing over here is to see how powerful the missiles of this brand new drone will be on the, let's just say, the most powerful helicopter in the game. So let me actually cut this clip a little bit. The drone is going to come out, and as you guys can see, it's going to be doing around 100 damage each. But again, helicopters will be taking more damage because they are less armored. As you guys can see, it's going to be taking roughly 6 shots from these to actually be able to kill the likes of the Mi-28 Havoc. However, my friend will be using flares. As you guys can see, the flares are still able to counter this, so that's at least another bonus. You guys are actually able to counter the lock-on missiles. But yeah, around 5 to 6 will be able to kill the Mi-28. Oh yeah, now the one and last final bit of information of what I actually tested here. The drone EMP will be able to counter the likes of this. As you guys can see, it can actually lock onto it and it can damage it. However, for some entire reason, I noticed that the drone EMP is taking way longer to actually regen after shooting this drone rather than the normal drone. So maybe because this drone is more powerful, the EMP is taking more to reload and gather its power again, which does make a lot of sense. But if we do go ahead and see over here, as you guys can see, I'm still able to shoot it and kill it around 2 shots. I don't believe the EMP to be this good unless you guys are going to be using it through the walls, but you really do have to be careful with it. Anyway guys, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this vehicle. Personally, I feel like it's the coolest vehicle and it has the most gimmicks to it. By the way, one thing I forgot to mention, its lock-on range is going to be around 3000 stats, so just make sure to watch on this. And to whoever who has actually bought this, good luck with it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And for the people who are saying that this thing is uncounterable, it's still counterable. You guys will just have to kind of play it from very far away, and you have to play it very tactically.